Hey everybody, I'm here with Jerry and Christine, and they're longtime subscribers, but the most important thing is they're newlyweds.
Yahoo!
Welcome to the channel.
Thanks, Mike, for having us.
Thanks for having us.
A lot of people say don't meet on a dating site, and I'm going to just get right to it. They did everything wrong. They did everything I say not to do, what other people do. How did you two meet?
We met on Christian Filipina. We're not trying to promote them, but we do endorse them as far as this worked for us.
Why did it work for you? What was
all of the other dating sites had just nothing but people asking for money. But when I met her, I found an honest, sincere person that never asked me for money. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. I got injured on the job back in the States, and I was not getting workers' comp. She sent me money so that I could buy groceries and things.
She's your sugar mama.
She's my sugar mama. Of course, I sent money later, but that was to get ready for the wedding. But that jumps way ahead of the story.
Christine, how did you get on Christian Filipina? Are you on like 20 different dating sites, or was it exclusive?
I've tried. I was on other apps, but with Christian Filipina, my mom talked me through it. I was on the brink of giving up, and I was prepared to be single.
So your mom pushed you into this?
I mean, because she checked the reviews of the site, the app, and she says, just give it a try. Okay, then if it's gonna be your last try, make it your last try. But I just don't want you to give up. Yet.
Don't give up. And so the two of you from different parts of the world both got on Christian Filipina. And
almost the same time.
Who made the first contact? Who reached
I did.
out first?
I kept seeing this profile of this woman who was in her 40s, had a child, and I really didn't know if I was committed to raising someone else's child, so I kept swiping left. But her profile kept coming up. The sixth time that it came up, I realized that I could be a stepfather. I could raise a child of someone else's and love her as much as if she were my own blood. And I reached out to Christine just briefly, and I says, look, I think I could be the type of husband that you're looking for, just based on her profile and what she had said in her profile. And I believe that I could be a stepfather for your daughter. If you think I have those qualities, please reply.
Well, that's great. A lot of guys, they shy away from the thought of raising someone else's son. But it's really a common practice now. Even back in the States, when we're older, we're going to date or hook up with an older woman that has children already. When did you first join Christian Filipina? When did you first have this inkling to meet a Filipina?
My late wife was a Filipina, and I shied away from meeting another Filipina because I felt like it would bring too many memories of my late wife. But I was not satisfied with looking around the world at other women, even in America. And one morning I woke up and I says, wow, my late wife and I were going to retire in the Philippines. Why not look there? And I woke up and I started searching YouTube, and I found this guy, Mike's Philippine Retirement.
Oh, some old guy.
Sitting
on the couch.
And I thought, wow, this guy's got some really good information. And then you had Giselle on your channel, and she talked about her fiance that lives in the States, and then she talked about Christian Filipina. And so I went onto her channel and I followed the link to Christian Filipina. I read the reviews and I did a little bit of research. I'm kind of a research junkie. And I thought, wow, these people really do try to keep scammers away. And I've reported several scammers that were doing that, but I was blown away by the quality of people that I was meeting there that had good values. And that's when I found her, and she had the values that aligned with mine.
Now, let's get off the dating site now.
Okay.
You've met, you're communicating. When did you decide you were going to come here to the Philippines to retire and live?
Probably late August, early
A
September.
month after we.
Well, yeah,
I'd
I
say
was
August.
inclined a month after, well, yeah, probably towards the end of January, first part of August. I was inclined to come here, but at that point I hadn't committed to Christine. So I thought, you know, I look at your video and several others that you're talking about the place, you're vlogging about what you see here and how life is. And I thought, now that's kind of lifestyle that I'd really like to live. Something that's a little bit more peaceful, a little more relaxed.
Laid back.
Beautiful place. And I thought, well, even if things don't work out between Christine and I, it would still be a great place to live. And I'll tell you, from the time I got off the airplane, I fully believe this is where I was destined to be.
Have you been with Christine every day since you've been in the Philippines?
Every day since we touched down,
Yeah.
since I touched down.
And where have you gone since you've been here? Where'd you land? What'd you do?
Landed on December 30th. Her mother's birthday is New Year's Eve, and I wanted to be here for her mother's birthday. I had talked to her mom, I talked to her dad, talked to several of her siblings online, chat, and I just thought, wow, these are really good people here. Her mother, just the most decent lady, mom, is one of the most decent ladies you'll ever meet, and she's got great values, and she's very, very steadfast in her beliefs, and you will not sway her. Not that she's stubborn, it's just that she knows what's right, and she's never wrong. I'm just, but we landed on the 30th, and I had booked an Airbnb. My original plan was to leave on January 24th, but prior to me coming here on December 13th, I just said, I can't get ready to go. And if I'm going to stay, then I need to have time when I return home to sell everything so that I can be here permanent. So I just quit my job. I just says, that's it, I retire.
One day you walked into the office and said, I'm done?
Well, it was a little bit more complicated. I was driving truck. I just drove home.
Just drove
and
home.
Then I called them up, and I said, and that was 500 miles away from Reno to Salt Lake. And I just called them up and says, I retire. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, his company kept sending him to places he didn't want to go. There were 3 weeks that he worked 7 days straight. Up until.
And you
he
didn't
just
like that,
decided-
did you? You
Of
thought
course I didn't.
you know,
I didn't.
you're sitting here in the Philippines, you're saying, hurry up, come here.
Thing is-
You're doing me no good in America, come here.
Thing is, I didn't tell him to extend his stay. I didn't want him to extend just because I wanted him to. I was just thinking it has to come from him.
So you came here, you guys were hanging around. When did you decide to get married? Was this prior to coming here?
Prior to coming
Yes.
here in late September.
And how was the process of getting married? A lot of people say it's hard to get married in the Philippines.
Yeah, that's a whole chapter in itself.
We'll take a couple pages, but not the whole.
Okay, so one of the processes is you have to have the legal capacity to marry. You got to get that from the U.S. Embassy or the consulate. If you're in Visayas, then you go to Cebu. If you're up on Luzon, you go to Manila. And I was trying to get an appointment and trying, and they just didn't have the January appointments ready. And you have to be here in person to do that. So I knew I'd be here on the 30th of December. So she was checking online every 30 minutes towards the end of November, and on December 1st at midnight, they opened up January's appointment. She booked me the first appointment of the year on January 2nd at 12:45. Yeah, that was the first appointment of the year. So this is how committed we were to getting this done.
So Christine, you're there hitting the refresh button
Right.
over and over and over again to be the first one there.
This is how
Yes.
committed we were to this process. And then on the 3rd, we, since we're up just outside of Metro Manila in Cainta, in Rizal province, we were at the local government unit
As soon as it opened.
as soon as it opened on the 3rd, because I'd gotten the legal capacity on the 2nd. So on the 3rd was their first day back to work. We were sitting there first thing in the morning, and it
With
was
all our paperwork.
with all of our paperwork. I had sent paperwork over, and prior to my late wife, I had been married and divorced. and just out of preparation, I guess, I had gotten a copy of my divorce papers from that previous marriage, and I'd gotten a letter from my county.
Single status letter.
Single status letter, because up until October 31st, the PSA was allowing that for instead of the legal capacity.
And all you need to do was to have it notarized.
Right.
Yes,
Anyway.
all right.
And so I sent all of that over in the mail to her. All of my documents, my birth certificate, my late wife's death certificate, my divorce papers, and that letter, that single letter. But as of October 31st, the Philippine government changed it back to where you had to go to the embassy.
To appear at the US.
So I had it just in case. And it was a good thing.
You're a good Boy Scout. You send all
Yes, sir.
the paperwork. No, it does you no good in the shoebox in the closet.
Right.
If you don't need it, you don't need it.
Well,
but
it's
better
like
it's
if
there.
anybody, is not getting married, if they can apostille their documents, their DD-214s.
You never know when you're going to need it.
You never know if you're going to need it, and that's exactly right.
So where did you get married? And what day?
So we got married on February 4th. We had a garden wedding at the University Hotel. That hotel is in the University of the Philippines
in Quezon City?
in Quezon City.
So now, guys, if you want to see any photos of this wedding and there's some videos, Jerry has a YouTube channel. What's the name of the channel, Jerry?
Jerry's Life Journey.
And
Yep.
check it out if if you're romantic and you want to see his beautiful wife and some of the wedding and some of the things. He's brand new on YouTube. Let's all give him a like and a subscribe and a quick look. So now you're married and now you're doing this run about the islands of the Philippines.
Right.
What has brought you to Dumaguete?
You?
Me?
Well, no, I mean, you talk about Southern Negros and just how beautiful it is, and we're scouting now for a place to live when I return after the liquidation sale. And between you and some of the other vloggers that just show all of Dumaguete, Bacong, Valencia, Dawan, and it's just like beautiful place, and so peaceful here. And we're up in Manila all the time, and it's just too chaotic, too crowded, and I'm kind of a wide open spaces kind of guy. So this is something that appealed to me. So we went to Boracay for a few days, and that was part one of our honeymoon. And then we flew down here, and that was an ordeal. But
Traveling in the Philippines can be a massive ordeal.
just from the airport to the hotel here, I told Christine, I says, this is so much more peaceful. Just the taxi ride.
Dumaguete itself.
Dumaguete. I mean, people can complain about the traffic here in Dumaguete. It's nothing.
And nothing
How do you?
compared to the traffic.
What have you seen in Dumaguete since you've been here?
Well, we haven't really seen as much as we wanted to. I was going to rent a scooter and we were going to take a tour.
We've had rain lately.
But we had rain, and then we had some meetings and things, and that was more important to me than seeing more.
Have you been to the boulevard? Have you walked on the
We
boulevard?
did. When we got here on Thursday night, we went and saw the boulevard. We went down to Rizal Park. And
What did you think of that?
that was really interesting. That's really cool with all the sculptures lit up and things at night. And it's just so relaxed. Everybody just seems relaxed here. They don't seem like they're stressed out and like they're in a big hurry for anything.
It's a small town. What everybody says about Dumaguete, it's a sleepy, small town. Nightlife is not much.
It's 100,000+ more than the town that I live in.
Well, you're in the ghost of the town.
I live in a very small town. It's only 70,000 people only. It used to only be 12, but here it's got that small town feel, but at the same time, it's got all the amenities that you would need in a large city. So it's a perfect combination here, and the seafront here along the boulevard, it's just epic. It's just beautiful.
Now, when are you planning to return? You're not here for good. This is a combination. Meet your fiance, get married, boots on the ground, check out a few places, but you have to go back.
I do. Unfortunately, I have to leave on the 26th of February. I did a visa extension and that brought me to the 27th of February, but I've already got my return ticket for the 26th. But I do need to get back. I'd love to stay for another 30 days. In fact, Christine was even begging me, can you stay for another 30 days? I would love to, and I could do it.
So you got to go back.
But I have to sell everything.
Okay, so you're going to go to that phase of liquidating everything, and you have a home to sell.
I do,
which is the big thing. But besides the home, because that's a big sale. How about the little things in your life? What are you going to do with everything?
I'm going to miss my Harley. I really am. But some people have said ship the Harley here. It would cost me as much to ship that big beast over here as what it's worth. And there are Harley Davidson dealerships here in the Philippines. We go past them all the time in Quezon City, but it's too big of a bike. You don't need that big of a bike here. Oh, you can hear them go by every now and then. They're big bikes, but I mean, the majority of the scooters here are between 125 to 175 cc's.
Yeah, I have
and
155.
That's all you need here, especially in Dumaguete. Now, I was looking at a 450 cc Kawasaki, but it's still light and nimble compared to my Harley, and I think I could do traffic with it. But if I want to tour all of the islands, which is kind of a goal later on, I should have something that's got a little bit more pep and that can carry 2 people comfortably, plus all of our luggage. So I will probably be buying something like that when I get back. Yeah, I'm going to miss the Harley. I'm going to miss my new pickup truck that my late wife and I custom ordered from the factory. But it's stuff. You can get stuff. But I'm looking for a more minimalistic approach to life because I've got all this stuff and I don't use this stuff.
Now, you told me you were a gun collector?
I am. That's going to be tough.
Because you can't bring those here.
No, I'm not allowed as a foreigner to have firearms, but I don't need them here. I don't even carry a knife. I just feel that's safe here. So, I have not had any red flags. There's a couple places in Manila that my guard was up.
You got to have your guard. Be aware of your surroundings. Right. All in all, nobody's.
But I don't feel threatened 99% of the time, especially not here. I've just never met such peaceful, loving people.
Dumaguete has a big, violent problem. It's these little ants that crawl up and bite you. That's a big issue.
You got to watch out for those little brown lizards too. They'll look at you.
I got them in the house. So, your gun collection, you probably give away, sell, give family.
I gave some of the Heirloom Firearms to my daughter and my son. I just wanted to keep those in the family. I have a lot of others that I will. There's a website back in my home in Utah that it's called Utah Gun Exchange. To register on there, you have to be a non-felon, and I don't want to give firearms to sell firearms to somebody that may be a felon. Yeah. So I will use them and my local gun store. I will sell someone consignment.
So you're going to be very responsible in your selling. And
I'm very responsible about that. I
appreciate that.
I've been around that my whole life, and I would not want firearms to fall into the wrong hands.
Is there something you're going to bring back with you?
Yes.
That's like really close to your heart and you don't want to give up?
I've got family albums that I'll ship over in balikbayan boxes. I have dishes that...
Pots.
And cookware. I've got kitchen appliances. Now, all my kitchen appliances are 110 volts, and we use 220 here. But you can get the transformer and step it down to 110 volts. I have tools that I'll be sending over because I used to be a mechanic years ago, and so I have quite a tool collection.
So you're going to have a lot of items you're going to bring, multiple boxes.
Probably, I'm estimating right now between 10 and 12 balikbayan boxes.
And where are you going to send them to?
I'll send them to her parents' house, and then they'll store them.
Okay.
But if I send them in April, it usually takes about 3 months for a balikbayan box to hit the Philippines. And I'll send those out probably the first to middle part of April. It'll give me that much time. It'll give me a month to get everything packed. And the things that I can live without, I'll ship those. And then just before I leave, I'll probably ship 2 or 3 more just of my last minute things. Clothes, because clothes, I have very odd size pants, and I'll just trying to find pants here. I have to have them tailored.
I get all my clothes through Amazon, through the suppliers whose size I know fits me and such.
And I have a lot of clothes. I'm leaving a lot of clothes here, like shorts and and t-shirts and things like that. But it's winter back home,
Yes.
so I don't need them there. Sandals, things that I brought over with me. I'll leave those here, and we'll just put them in a tote, and they'll still be here when I get back.
When he's gone, what are you going to do? Is there, no, besides crying, is there preparation for a home, somewhere to live? Is there, or just waiting period,
We have been looking for a house to settle in because he aims to be back here sometime in June.
By June.
By June.
Sooner the better.
That's a small window. It
Right.
goes fast.
But only God knows.
Yeah.
Who knows?
As fast as I get here.
Right. But that's the plan because we've been looking for houses. We have yet to go to Pampanga. I have 2 siblings with their families there.
In Angeles.
In Angeles. And then,
Plus here.
for
Plus
here and now.
Dumaguete.
Yes.
Darwin area, Dumaguete, yes.
Darwin's got some great deals right now on homes. Don't tell everybody, because it'll drive the prices up.
Everybody thinks they're overpriced, but I don't.
When you look at Manila prices and you look at prices here on Negros, much easier here. I mean, when you look at basically a dump for 8 million pesos in the Greater Manila area, the metro area, and then you look at down here and you see a nice brand new house for 5 or 6 million. Okay, I'm not the best mathematician, but I would say that would be a lot better.
I looked in Cebu at condos that are for sale from 5 million up to 12 million, and for those real tiny condos, 26 square meters for 5-6 million, you can come down here and get yourself a nice 2-3 bedroom house with a little
For
bit of
that
land
price.
on that.
Yeah.
So the secret there is what you have found. You have found a great Filipina to marry, to be with as a partner, and so you don't have that fear. A lot of single guys come here, I can't buy land because I don't have a partner and I don't trust anyone.
Well, you can buy a condo.
You can
just
buy
can't
a
have
condo.
the land.
Yeah, you can't have the nice house.
I mean, a foreigner can buy a condo. You just cannot own the land. You can lease the land for 25 years, but what happens if you live to be 26 years past your
You can lease it for
purchase?
50.
You'd have to renew your lease.
Yeah, it's much better if you have the situation you're in. You're in a great situation here, and your family. You're not from the Mountain Region province, are you?
I grew up here in Manila. I mean,
And your education.
I'm an English major.
And did you teach or?
No, I didn't.
You
I was in
didn't?
the BPO industry, call centers. I was managing teams.
Oh, okay.
But my last work for the past 2 years, I've been the VA, a virtual assistant for an Australian trading business.
Oh, that's interesting work.
So I do a lot of things: payroll, admin side, marketing, client relations.
Going back to work in the plans or housewife to plan? We don't know yet.
Yes.
Yes to both.
It's up in the air. I haven't asked her to quit her job, but I was unsatisfied with how her last job was, how she was dealing with her last job. So I told her that I'd be okay if she quit. I can support her and her daughter until I get back, and then we can live on my budget.
But I also told him working is not a problem. Being a single parent and raising my daughter, I can make my own money. No big deal. But of course, while he's here, I want to give him the best of my time and not really doing anything, and just because we will be apart for the next 3 months?
3 months or more.
Or
maybe
more,
less.
maybe less.
Who knows?
I was a firm believer of having a full-time partner. I did not want a partner that wasn't with me when I needed her. you know, to help me, you know, get through everything.
And my mom was a very good role model at that. She was a housewife since they got married. And she never worked up until now.
But
So,
she does have her landscaping.
yeah,
business.
but she has a landscaping business and she loves to cook. She serves in church, so that's good.
She spends a lot of her time with church activities as a counselor and things like that. She enjoys it, you know, and whatever she enjoys. And Christine's on a leave of absence right now while we spend our time together, and it'll just be a matter of what she does after I leave, and it's her choice. I give her that opportunity.
Guys, this is a very happy couple. Jerry's been keeping me posted almost daily on what's been going on in their life, and not just me, many others. You know, he talks.
Sorry for the spam.
The spam mail out there. I just talked to someone before I got here, and I said, "Oh, there's a guy named Jerry here." Oh yeah, we know. Everybody knows. And you know, he's doing the rounds, meeting all the other YouTubers here that he's been watching and subscribing to.
Good people.
And you know, there's a bunch of good guys here. We appreciate. You're not going to see it in this video. The next video, you see the Browns jersey that I have, T-shirt that Jerry brought me, and they brought Janet a sexy dress. I can't wait for her to wear that. And thanks for being on the channel. Is there anything you want to share with any people who would be thinking of coming to the Philippines?
Well, I can address the dating thing. What we did is not conventional. We had the courage to put ourselves completely open and bare to each other, and it worked for us. It may not work for everybody. Coming to the Philippines, Mike, you have some of the best information out there for anybody that's preparing to come to the Philippines, and that's what my preparation was, is your information, and I thank you for that. You know, there are several vloggers out here that have good information on what to do, what not to do. And I mean, dating sites, just preparing to come to the Philippines, what to do once you get to the Philippines. You know, you were so instrumental in all of that. And again, I thank you, but just be fluid and be relaxed when you get here. You know, just getting here, we had our flight unbooked by AirAsia. That's okay. We're fluid. We just booked a flight back to Manila, then got a direct flight here to Dumaguete. You know, I mean, things happen, things change constantly. Just be prepared for that, and don't stress, don't panic over it. Remember, if you come here and you're retired, just keep that in mind. You're retired. You're not in a hurry.
Remind me again. I'm retired. I'm not in a hurry. Patience is a virtue.
Very much.
And it's great if you have a great partner to travel with. It makes the journey easier. Thanks again for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Till later, guys.